What is going on, y'all? It's Coffee. Tapping back in, man. There's so much going on in the G-Unit, Shady, Aftermath, Interscope family, man. After all these years later, right? Contractually, like label-wise, as record labels, they might not all be pumping, linked together in that aspect, right? Like Fifth been off Interscope, that deal's been over because like he took G Unit independent a long time ago, but relationship wise, it's all still like it was, man. And that's what's so lit. It shows you how it's more than music, right? It's more than business, because there's a lot of relationships in the game that's just business, right? Individuals really don't even flock with each other like that. But from everything that's been happening lately, right? We saw Fifth at Haley's wedding. We saw Fifth doing that interview where he ruffled Dame Dash's feathers when he talked about how Eminem gave him that mill out the deal and he was still on the grind, right? After taxes, everything, right? He walked away with $1 million cash getting signed, and he was like, yeah, Dame's broke. He tried to tell me that wasn't nothing. Like, they still rock with each other. 2024, everything's still pumping strong, and there's so much we got to get to this one, right? It extends beyond Fifth and Eminem. We're talking about Dre, Snoop, everything. But you see the big headline that's being taken from this big broadcast that Eminem did after 20 years of Shade 4-5 on the satellite radio, right? And Fifth and G-Unit was even a part of that with G-Unit Radio, which we'll get to that momentarily. But the big headline here is about M and Fifth and them seemingly putting out a project together, right? 50 Cent saying, let me handle this Vegas residency. And we got to get in the booth. We got to do it. Which was spoken upon in this special broadcast that they did with DJ Who Kid, Paul Rosenberg in the building with Eminem as well. I think that's where the whole Kendrick clip came from as well, where they were talking about, M was saying Kendrick is going to sweep the Grammys, right? K-Dot deserves it. He should. If he doesn't, it's a travesty, especially in just the hip hop categories. I can't believe K-Dot going against the Beatles in a one, whatever it is of the year, record of the year, album, whatever, right? I didn't even know the Beatles was still, you guys remember that back when Steely Dan beat Eminem out for record of the year, back when, what was that, 2000, 2001, Steely Dan beat Eminem. Can Kendrick beat the Beatles? But we'll get to this clip from the broadcast talking about the collaborative album. This ain't the first time it's been brought up. It was brought up way back, like over a year ago, or just under a year ago, I should say.
Man, what's next, man? 2024. Absolutely nothing. Nah, man, I'm working on a little something. I know you sneaking drinks out there, and I definitely need that Detroit Lions Mom Spaghetti collab sweater, please. I need it. Got you, bro. I need that immediately. And my final question, 50 Cent Eminem collab album. What's up? Where'd that come from? Bro, I don't know whose idea that was, but that's crazy. I heard it through the grapevine. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yo, I'm trying to get him to make another album so bad. We need another 50 album, like really bad, bro. Oh, 50's on the road right now. He's been on the road since the tour, man. And I told him he needs to fucking, whatever he needs from me, I'm here. That shit'd be crazy though, an album with me and him. That's it right there.
So that was like just under a year ago, right? Or I want to say right around last Super Bowl. We're about just getting into the playoffs. So what, 2-3 months shy of a year ago. Eminem in an interview, which he don't typically do like that, right? And it's with DJ Who Kid, who's a part of this broadcast that we're speaking of, right? Who's part of the G-Unit, Shady, Aftermath, Interscope, under that umbrella, part of the team, the squad. And he's like, yo, what's up with this album? Yo, that would be crazy. I've been telling Fifth ever since the Final Lap tour, we need another project from you, right? Because 50 Cent ain't really all about music like that these days. He's got what he's going on in Shreveport. He's doing the music, movies, TV, films, productions, whatever, And I'm like, whoa, there's no way that Who Kid would just ask that. And Eminem's talking about, where'd you hear that? You know, like it just felt like they were hinting to us that that project is coming. So I'm waiting on it, right? And the next thing we know, we started getting the promo for the Death of Slim Shady project, right? And then now here we are just under a year later when we have this special, what was it, a 5-hour broadcast for 20 years of Shade 4 or 5.
Here's my question, man. You know, I've asked this before. 50 Cent Eminem album.
Okay, what's your question, DJ Who Man?
Collab album. Will I see that in the future? I've been dying. All the fans, everybody in every channel here asks the same question. Whether it's me, whether it's Sway, whether it's Lord Sear, whoever. Everybody asks that question. Is M and 50 Cent doing an album?
That would be great. I mean, I think that we just gotta stop bullshitting and just do it.
I would love to hear it too. So whenever you guys are ready, we'll put it out.
I wouldn't. It was a fun time. That was the funnest time to me in hip hop was when we first signed 50. And remember we was popping.
Yeah, it was a great time. We definitely had some things popping.
Yeah, we used to be really cool, man. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, I'm still cool.
Paul is what happened, people. So if you wonder why,
you know I'm editing all of this out.
No, you're not. Who Kid? Don't let him do it, bro.
You hear that, Rod? You heard from the boss.
All right.
So, you know, they speak on it again because when the Death of Slim Shady came, and that was the next thing up, and I'm waiting on the collaborative album. I'm like, oh man, maybe that was just, maybe Who Kid was just plucking around or whatever. But now it's mentioned again. To me, the fact hearing Eminem say it like that, yeah, we just got to stop effing around and do it. And then 50 Cent just chime in and say, listen, let me knock this residency out, and then I'm in the booth, I'm there. I feel like it's something that they both wanted to do, but their schedules just haven't permitted to the point where they can link up, and now it seems like it's just gotta happen. You know what I mean? I'm amped the fuck up for that. You know, this is gonna be major. M and 50, a collaborative album. Did y'all hear there was talk, like it's in the news now, man. This Dame Dash interview that he did, man. Talking obviously about Rockefeller, Jay-Z. There's a lot of gems and things that'll make you think in there, though, on this most recent Cam Capone interview. Tap in and let me know if you heard that thing or not, you know. But it had me thinking, because he's the big headline that's going viral from that is that Jay-Z ghost wrote Memphis Bleak stuff, right? Which it doesn't really shock anyone. But when Bleak, I think, did Drink Champs, was it? Or I believe it was Drink Champs, some podcast, but I'm almost certain it was Drink Champs. They were talking about a Bleak Jay-Z album, and you know, that would be lit. It hasn't come to fruition. Jay-Z's got this whole legal battle going on, which comment and let me know if y'all think he did that ish or not. I'm not buying it. There's too much funny style stuff with it all. But it's like, the fans love that, to see two artists get together collectively and put out a whole project together. And just Eminem and 50 Cent has just been way overdue, in my opinion, man. And it's like, I'm hoping this thing is sooner rather than later.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool.
Moving on.
Okay. And G-Unit Radio came into play, and how was that, Paul? That whole experience of us starting that whole new movement.
50, you know, has his own movement, right? So we wanted to give him an opportunity to have a platform for that as well. So we figured what better place to do it than with us. So he was on, I think, initially it was the whole weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
And that's, you know, you came in to sort of run that, and that lasted for what, 10 years?
10 years of him brutally dissing all the artists out there. He gave him a platform.
Yeah, and that was before Instagram. So
yes,
that's where he used to do that.
You know, I always wanted to ask him how, you know, dealing with 50, man, he respects the fact that you accepted all the beef and all the chaos that he had going on. Like, you know, what made you go that route? You know, some people wouldn't go that route.
I don't know. I think me and Fifth connected like from the first time we met, and I think that you know, I was a fan before we actually got a chance to sign. So like when we met that first time, I remember like I was rapping his whole mixtape to him and shit.
And he was just looking at me, and I was like, this dude probably thinks I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah. A little bit.
But, yeah, man, I didn't care back then. I just was like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we the way me and him connected and how fun it was to, like, make songs and shit and how quick we were making them. Like, I was just ready, you know, like, let's go.
And Paul, being the manager, like, how did you react to that? Like, you know,
well,
your client.
Yeah, I mean, look, for
Bro,
me,
you know, I didn't give a fuck back then.
He didn't give a fuck, but I certainly had, you know, other ways of thinking about it. And the way I saw it was, 50 was so talented, and it was such an undeniable thing to me that he was going to be a massive artist that, you know, you sort of take the little bit of the bad with the good, right? I knew that the talent would win out and that he was going to be huge. So that's why I just decided, hey, man, let's buckle down and ride.
So there was some other stuff they spoke about on this broadcast. Tap in and let me know if you heard the whole broadcast. But for real, man, who was there listening all the way Shade 4-5 G-Unit radio on the weekends? You know, it had that whole G-Unit radio mixtape vibe to it. And, you know, it's like people flucked up by not signing 50 Cent. I think that's part of the reason that his friendship with Eminem has sustained the way in which it did, that it was more than business. And being someone who loves hip-hop as a student of it and came up on it and studied it the way that he did, you know, where everyone found out like this dude just ain't some Vanilla Ice bozo. People came for him and he held his own on the mic and he's still here. And 50 Cent was a dude that had been through all these ups and downs, signed by Columbia, Ghost Road for some people, got shot, dropped after being shot. You know, the Columbia deal fell through. They dropped him. He was taken off the Jennifer Lopez song and replaced with Nas. Remember, he said, I'm the hardest dude in New York, or hottest rapper in New York. I don't need J-Lo. You know, on that, my people's is locked in the jail cell with no bail stressing. Guess I'm a life of a kingpin. Rap Stephen King, rock bling like neon light. We gonna be alright. That was the verse Nas spit on the J-Lo track. Fifth was on that thing originally. They took him off, you know. I think Irv Gotti might have had something to do with that. But my point is like you heard him saying how Eminem was a fan of 50 Cent. Those G-Unit mixtapes were so fire. You know, like he got blackballed from the industry, Ghetto Quran and different things like that, Ruffled Feathers. And this dude had to go to Canada just to secure studio time so that he could put these mixtapes out. And those mixtapes were fire, man. G-Unit, Banks, Yayo, and Fifth putting out tracks over the beats of like the hottest tracks or hottest beats currently at that time. You know, comment some of your favorite tracks. Like, I'll just name two of them off top. Remember High Tech and Quali, The Blast, where he put out that, you know, that joint that was like Quali, where Fifth said, Fifth said, I don't need no introduction. Everybody, you heard of 50 Cent, you heard of G-Unit. I'm not High Tech and I'm not Quali. But Banks came in on that one and said, you ain't got to like me, that's cool. I don't give a fuck, quality time ain't gonna put me in a bigger truck. Like, that was a banger. That I stay gangstered up, ain't got shit on me. I stay with my gat in case I gotta pop somebody, right? G-Unit click, we run these streets. That was off the East Siders, Gangstered Up. If it ain't a Chevy, don't raise it up. You know what I mean? And the list goes on and on. They were consistent with these mixtapes to the point they got in the hand of Eminem. And M did like what Dre did when Eminem's music came to Dre's attention and signed him. Eminem said, let me do my thing and sign him. You know what I'm saying? And you see the different pictures and stuff like that. Eminem's over there touring in the Middle East right now. You know, so hopefully he'll wrap that thing up. Fifth will wrap this Vegas residency up and they'll tap in on this project. But the point is hearing all this, hearing them reflect on it in a nostalgic vibe on this broadcast, you know, it's just like you heard it out of Eminem's mouth, right? You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. This was his favorite time in the game. It was fun when they first signed 50 Cent, 2002, 2003, Get Rich or Die Trying, dropping, and just the way they just continue to push on. There's nothing like we'll ever see it in the game again, you know? In a way, a lot of these bunk ass labels can't even keep it together, you know? Fifth and M have remained tight.
I think it's time to take it back to the basics. Fellas, are you tired of blowjobs like I am? I think it's time to take it back to the basics. Who wants their dick sucked every day? That shit can get to you, man. I mean, every day. Shit gets old. It gets boring. Can we just lay down and fuck? I don't know why everything's gotta be so fucking complicated. You don't have to put your leg over your head. Snoop Dogg Missionary. Just fucking. In stereo.
Okay, man, so when I seen this, I said, what the fuck is going on? Obviously, this is promo for the Missionary project, but pause, why'd you have to gesture it like that? And you see someone talking about that two-handed gesture thing is a major pause. I'm like, come on, B. You know what I mean? It takes me back to another moment I don't even want to talk about like that, but that whole Borat pause thing. Why did Eminem do that, Em? That was sus. Come on, even if you was an M fan, you can't deny that was sus as fuck, but it didn't stop there. Here's some more promo that Eminem came up in for the Missionary project, and let me know if you rock with this project or not.
Gather round and let Matt put you up on game. Chucks come with the loose. Come, Long Beach came together. That's that. It all started 30 years ago.
She didn't come home last night. Help me find her, please.
Let's take a second here for this moment of violence. You smell it in the air, product of my environment. Nothing more gangster than my voice over these violins. Hold on, cuz. That's them Eminem Air Jordan 4s? They go for 40 racks in the street. I remember when I was 16, wishing I could just get my revenge on the world that hurt me. Thirsty for paper, them double entendres turned me to an entrepreneur and a monster constantly caught in some kind of
Yeah, so when I first seen it, I said, wait, Missionary the movie? Is this real? You know what I mean? Is this real? Are they really putting them? Nah, it's like, you know, it's a joke. It's funny or whatever. But yo, they're talking about the Eminem Jordan 4s, Air Jordan 4s. Them joints are 40 racks in the street. You know, it's interesting to see just Eminem so involved, putting out this promo for the Missionary album, and I want to know what everyone thinks about it. If you're rocking with it, you see they went back in time. It was like Dre and Snoop. Dre from Training Day. They were both in Training Day, right? They said this goes back 30 years and all that. You know, I thought this was pretty interesting, you know, and it's dope to see Eminem involved in the promo for the project. And this was a big deal for Dre and Snoop, for them to get out and do all these podcast interviews and all that. I want to know what y'all think of the project, the promo, seeing them all collaborate, and all these artists from back then to now. And it's a good thing M and Snoop got that beef behind them, obviously, which they been had. They been, you know, dead off, man. And I look forward to talking with all y'all in the comments. G-Unit, Shady, Aftermath, Interscope, still winning. 2024, that project coming soon. We're pushing into 2025, and we got to end this thing with one more clip, man. The Rat Pack. Listen, I'm not a big AI guy, but this was a cool use of it. So here comes the clip. That'll conclude the video. Let's talk in the comments. It's Coffee. I'm gone, y'all. Sub up. Peace.
Hey, Sammy. Now who the hell are these guys?
I heard those are the new gangsters in town.
Brenda, come here a sec. Listen, tell those guys we'd like to meet them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Excuse me. I have a couple gentlemen over at the bar that would like to meet you all.
Frank, Snoop, Sammy,
Trey. So, what's your pleasure? What are you guys drinking?
Gin.
Still gin.
Okay? Still gin for everybody. With a good night. All right.
Don't kill anybody tonight.
Yeah.